assistants Nick and Joe must search every corner of his drone for the cassette that is our only home. But in the meantime, they'll play the greatest hits they've written. VCR Party Live, VCR Party Live, and Melinda's.
Well,
hello, Melinda's.
Welcome to VCR Party Live.
Yes, welcome to the VCR Party Live. Thanks for tuning into the show. My name's Joe, this is Nick. We do the Found Footage Festival, and we watch VHS tapes. We have a bunch of them in the place, and then we watch them, and we enjoy them.
Weirdly, right now we're pre-taping this here in our office, but we're in London tonight doing our show there, and then we'll head back after that.
Yep.
And head to North Carolina. But so yeah, we're pre-taping this, so we're not live, but we're going to be on the chatting live as this is happening.
Yep.
So we'll be there with you in spirit.
Yep.
And we like to start things off as we do every week with what we call VHS classics. No, what do we call them? Found Footage Festival classics.
I just agreed with you.
Yeah, that's what we do. Because we've been doing our Found Footage Festival show for 15 years, we like to revisit some of our back catalog.
16.
16 now.
Yeah.
So for those who...
No, 15.
Okay, great. For big help tonight. So this is for people who have just gotten on board or maybe don't have the intimate knowledge of our collection like we do or George does. We like to go back and revisit some. And this one comes from our buddy in Louisville gave this to us.
Stu.
He was helping us produce our documentary called Dirty Country. And he had a friend who was an editor who worked in news and made a reel, like a lot of them do, of bloopers and things like that. This is a real thing. Like, they did some editing here, but this actually happened on the White House lawn in the 80s.
I think they had access to a satellite feed, because that's where a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff comes from.
But there are
cut.
so there's like raw footage, and I think whoever was on the camera was doing some creative zooming.
Yeah.
So everybody was having a good time, but you'll see this is a real reaction that Reagan had to being presented with a Libazander horse from a visiting dignitary.
Libazander horse?
Yeah, it's a specific breed of giant horse. So
Okay.
giant in a lot of ways.
Ah.
So this is another thing we do to
these-
ward off new viewers by playing really unpleasant, perhaps graphic footage right up top.
Uh-huh.
Ronald Reagan.
Oh, we'll be getting to
They're
team right
touring
after
the
this.
United
So.
States
Great.
with these magnificent Libazaner horses, and we have only seen just a tiny bit of what they actually do in their exhibitions, partly due to the soft ground here. Mr. Solinger was the president of the Chamber of Commerce in Austria, is responsible for not only this display, but that magnificent stallion,
They're laughing.
Amadeus, is a gift to the people of the United States. Well, it is particularly fitting that this is the first time this has ever happened on the White House lawn.
Flapping.
Just a minute.
So that's a little bit of Reagan with
some
the horse.
manipulative
with
editing
Yeah.
there. I don't know what was actually. I don't think he was responding to the dong.
I think he was.
I think it was no, because the horse neighed, and he was like, "Just a minute."
I think they added the neighing. I think they added the neighing.
I don't think he would have responded to a
Of
horse
the United
dong.
States.
Reagan had a
Well,
sense
it
of
is
humor.
particularly fitting that this is the first time this has ever happened on
What?
the White
First
House
ha-
lawn.
That they did the dancing on there.
It's definitely not a neigh. that
Just a
happened.
minute.
That neigh was added. It's definitely that horse.
I don't think he's
This
acknowledging
has
a
ever
horse
happened
dong.
on the White House lawn. Just a minute.
He was right on it.
Why are they laughing? Why are they laughing?
Well, just a minute. What's just a minute with the dong?
Well, hey, I want to go sleep with a female horse. Just a minute. What do you think the joke
No,
is?
just a minute, because he's yelling at him to like he's
He's
right,
neighing?
he's neighing.
But they're all laughing. What are they?
Amadeus.
They're laughing at the name?
But they're
Is a
laughing at
gift
the
to
name.
people of the United
That's
States.
not
He's
funny.
interrupting the
Well,
president.
it is
Okay.
particularly
I don't think he
fitting
would ever call attention
that this
to a
is the
horse
first
dong.
time this has ever happened
Well, weigh
on
in,
the
folks.
White House lawn.
The camera guy.
Are they all laughing at the dong?
I think so.
Steve's with me.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Joe.
Wow.
Yeah, he's not going to acknowledge a huge dong.
Well,
on there.
he was
Would you do it, like, if you were?
a president?
Yeah.
Sure, I think Obama would have. The presidents with a good sense of humor, they'd be like, well, he's certainly excited. You know, he would have some comment about that, I think. You can't let it go unacknowledged.
No.
A giant swaying
Of
horse
all
wiener?
people, Nick's thing, who never acknowledges anything.
I know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I think if you're a
Exactly.
president,
Think
I
you would
think if you're a
acknowledge it?
president, you do more damage by not acknowledging.
But most people don't see the dong.
I don't know how you could have missed that.
But the guys who were standing in front of the horse, how would they see the horse's dong?
Well, I think they probably saw people reacting by Reagan, and then
And they're like, oh, they
back.
must be reacting to the horse dong.
Well, they look back at the horse.
But why did everybody laugh at the exact same time?
Probably it's like somebody farts in church. Everybody kind of like looks around, and then they generally acknowledge
No,
what's
when
happening.
they fart in church, they laugh right away.
Right. My guess is somebody starts laughing.
Floundering.
I would hate for this to get us the episode off track right now.
Yeah. Well, weigh in, folks. I don't know what it. Clearly, they manipulated the edit, but there's no that actual horse.
I think that they manipulated and then you bought into it.
Well, the horse did have a boner on the White House lawn. That's we can all agree on.
100%.
All right. Well, that's a good
100%.
way to start the show. And the reason I played that, by the way, is because it's the most political we get on this show.
Yeah.
Is by having a former president in a clip. And
It has to be a horse dong in it.
of course,
Yeah,
right.
in order for us to play a
And our
political
special
clip.
guest, and he'll be so proud of this tonight, is Sam Cedar, who hosts the Majority Report,
Mm-hmm.
the daily. I don't know how he does a daily show, but a daily progressive political podcast and show.
But he started off as an actor and comedian and director, and he's done a bunch of stuff. The reason that we had him on is because he told us about, we were on his show, you were on his show, and he told us about this Danny Aiello music video that he made as a response, well, we'll explain it later,
Yeah.
but a response to a Madonna video. But then also, we found out while he was here that he worked on this Gary Busey show on Comedy Central, and he gives us all the dirt on Gary
Yeah.
Busey. So
He's also the voice of Hugo on Bob's Burgers. So
yeah,
he
he does a
he'll
bunch
be
of cool stuff.
And we pre-taped with him, so you're watching a pre-tape of a pre-tape later in the
Oh,
show.
it's very
But
meta.
he's really funny, so I'm excited for that segment.
All right. Well, you know what they say. If you can't beat them, then tedium. Roll it, Steve.
Who says that?
I think Ronald Reagan said it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I think it was Reaganism. We get political.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, is it rolling? Yeah.
I mean, Reagan was a terrible president, but at least he had a sense of humor.
I've watched some of his videos. Like, he's really funny
Yeah.
in his speeches.
Yeah.
Like, he's quick, and I think especially early on.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
yeah.
He hasn't lost a step, and he was.
Well, I think towards the end he did. He
Yeah.
fell asleep.
Right, but I'm saying during that really. Yeah, he was funny. I think
he's
besides
a show
President
business.
Obama, Reagan was probably one of the funniest
Yeah.
modern
Because
presidents.
he's a showbiz guy.
Yeah. Bad president, funny guy. So, all right.
Where were we? Oh, we're getting political here.
If you can't beat him, yeah. Okay.
All right, so this is a horse dong video that I wanted to show you. No, I'm just joking. This is my latest obsession. The pageant videos from England.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Miss ATV 1978. Our buddy Ian, is that
Yeah,
his name? Ian
yeah.
from Nottingham gave us this, and it's from 1978, and it's Star Wars themed. Star Wars was all the rage, and so they
Are you assuming it's Star Wars themed, or just because that's space themed? Because it looks nothing like Star Wars.
They play Star Wars
They
music.
do?
during
Okay,
it. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
it's
was
100% Star Wars
Okay.
themed. And they say stuff like, "We're not going to see any Star Wars tonight, but we will see some, fashion
Stars of the
wars,
fashion
or
world.
something like that."
Okay.
So anyway, when they brought them down, they kicked it off with the evening gown part of the show, and everybody would have to go up, and there's this guy dressed as a robot, and he would have to take off their, I guess they had like a robe.
A cape or something.
Yeah, like a cape over their gown.
Okay.
And then they would walk out. But it was so tedious. Like
Right.
they had like a dozen women, and they had to take off every single one. They could have at least done like a Velcro, and
They
like
didn't rehearse the business part of it. Yeah.
no. So I just put together a string of the robot trying to undo
Oh,
all
great.
the capes.
Okay,
So
that
it's really
sounds
tedious.
appropriately
We're starting the
tedious.
show off with tedium
And
and horse
Reagan
dongs and very
commenting
highly
or not
political.
commenting on a horse dong.
And I hope I queued this up correctly.
But let's
Yeah.
start
Okay,
with evening wear.
There's the robot. That's C-3PO.
Yeah, sure. That's C-3PO.
Yeah. Okay.
The odds of doing this successfully are 1,700,000.
Oh, had a little trouble. Oh, it went too long.
Oop,
Oh,
still around her
needs
neck.
to- okay. 1 down, 14 to go.
Yeah, it's almost like his vision's impaired here. He's so robotic in his movement, though. It's almost like you're watching a real-life android.
Uh-huh.
This might get flagged in England, huh?
Yeah, very well could, actually. I bet the director instantly regretted this decision.
This is why you have
Like,
writing rehearsal dinners, because always the business part of it takes longer than you think
Just
it's
like undo the, make sure that he doesn't get in a double knot. But the
Who's
music's
got the
pretty,
ring box?
The
One's
music's
like-
pretty at least.
Yeah, the music's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Still got about 4 left to go back there.
Yeah. They could have just started with them off, too. Or Velcro. How about
Yeah.
Velcro? Had that been invented?
Uh-huh. That's a pretty one.
Space would be
Yeah.
pretty tedious, though. I think that's realistic.
That was probably his fastest one right there.
Yeah, lightning.
Yeah.
That almost verged on being exciting.
So, he's good at it now.
Yeah,
he's got it
now
down
he's got it after 38
Yeah.
women.
Yeah, they all are. Now they're in their evening wear.
Okay, well, C-3PO really did.
Fine. Well, there we are.
Well, there we are.
Well, good tedium
Yep.
corner. I enjoyed the you picked out a tedious part from an already tedious video.
It's an hour long and it does not have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into next excitement corner as an answer to that tedium. Crash Impact.
Good title.
Crash Impact is exciting, and the little starburst here says, spectacular accidents that'll leave you breathless.
Is that Scimitar?
No, it's
Oh,
two-part two VHS cassette tape. This is like Braveheart level, but just accidents.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna play a little bit of the intro here. You'll see some crashes. I believe it starts with some motocross crashes.
Okay.
Crash Impact.
Is this like a snuff film, basically, or is this?
Yeah, everybody's dead.
Yeah?
Who you're gonna be seeing in this. I like the song too.
Crash Impact. With some of the hottest crash action in racing today.
That one's not that good. That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
You'll see Supercross and Motocross, Mud Mania,
Good.
motorcycle road racing, NASCAR, power boats, monster trucks, Indy cars, tractor pull, vintage stock cars, sprint cars, and outlaws not quite making
Fight.
through all the paces.
Oh, it's a fight?
With a soundtrack that's hard to beat. All with
Soundtrack
this
that's hard to
fantastic
beat.
2-volume set.
Is the soundtrack like this?
Yeah. No, they do get into a real song here to start off with.
Let's start with the high-flying motocross action.
Okay.
All right, I don't want to
Elton
play too
John?
much because I'm gonna get we'll get flagged for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's Crash Impact. That's the excitement corner. Can you close up the excitement corner?
How did they license? I bet they didn't even do that though.
Probably
how did,
not.
How did anybody track like copyright?
I
back
don't
then?
know. But I did want to, before we get to Sam Cedar, recognize an important anniversary, and that's the anniversary of the movie Dirty Dancing coming out. Came out August 21st, so between the episodes.
How do you know these things? Do you look it up?
Yeah, I look up stuff that might be pertinent to tapes that we have in our collection. And one thing we've noticed about that era, it was 1987.
Is there a new Dirty Dancing movie coming out or something?
No, but like...
You just looked up the anniversary of Dirty
Yeah,
Dancing.
because I was looking at a tape we have called "Learn the Art of Dancing Dirty," and I'm like, oh, when would be a good time to play that?
Got it.
Have I sufficiently justified the reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd never seen Dirty Dancing.
He's still mad about the horse dong. You can tell he's a little snappier.
No, I'm willing to go down that. I'm willing to admit that Reagan may have not done it. It was just kind of
I think he's still mad about it.
eye-opening.
Yeah.
But the thing we've learned about Dirty Dancing was, like a lot of these dance things, like the Macarena or the Lambada, the Forbidden Dance, copycat videos come out immediately about how to do those types of dance. So we have a bunch for Dirty Dancing, which I never saw except like 2 years ago. A girlfriend made me watch it, and I didn't like it. It was. I don't see what the big deal about.
I
that
watched
movie
like the
is.
first 20 minutes of it. I couldn't finish it.
And the girl is just kind of a bratty rich girl. She's not. Why would you root for her?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Anyway,
Oh, Brentwood put it out.
yeah, this is the same people who did Baby Rapper, among other
But
videos.
Brentwood bought out Scimitar, so they're related in a way.
This is Patrick Swayze's mom got in on the cash cow that was Dirty Dancing and put out a. Swayze makes a reluctant cameo in this, but
Yeah.
he doesn't want to be there.
Oh, I love this video. This is like volume 1, wasn't it? Like our very first DVD.
In one of our first shows we did
Yeah.
a dance montage. This was called Dancin' Dirty, so I guess you couldn't really say Dirty Dancing. It's how to do some of the moves from Dirty Dancing.
I think they use the same font too.
Yeah, and this one, similar font. This is Dirty Line Dancing. This is the country line dancing equivalent.
They use the NWA Straight Outta Compton font
Yep,
there.
they certainly did. This is still in the shrink.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever watched that one?
No, but here's the one I wanted to show. This is called Learn the Art of Dancing Dirty. So it's an art. And I'm just going to play, I queued this up to my favorite dance in here. It's called the Afro Tilt. And I just love the guy's khakis, and they kind of go slow motion. And I kind of hate the guy's ass, too. So we'll watch the Afro Tilt.
Kind of hate the guy's ass.
Next is the Afro Tilt.
Come on, Tracking, find it.
The Afro Tilt. This is possibly the most familiar movement that most couples know, right?
Look at his serious
Of
expression.
course. It is a forward and backward tilting of the pelvis. Just start out by doing just that. Then add a pulse forward and upward with a slight bend
You
of
hit
the
his
knees.
ass
up.
from here?
No,
From this angle?
no,
Oh, we'll
you
see it
the
better.
back.
After you have coordinated the movement of the pelvis, the arms and hands
at how
can travel
loose those
all over
khakis
as
are,
desired,
too.
and you can
they're
create a
pleated.
feel
Yeah.
and look of your own. Don't forget to breathe.
The girl at least
Timing
smiles.
can be slow or fast as you feel it. Improvise. Pelvis back.
They're doing their own slow motion.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There.
You kind of hate his ass?
Well, I really do. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Or trying to give his ass the benefit of the doubt.
Back. Forward. Back.
And then they're going back to normal motion.
They're pretty good.
Yeah. At one point, the narrator's like, you know, explore her body while you do this, and let her and touch her anywhere she'll let you get away with. This is kind of like a ha ha
Spanish
ha.
drag.
There's some of the art of dancing dirty.
Okay.
Yeah. So happy anniversary to Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
And I'll
God,
tell
that
you exactly why I'm doing every movie anniversary.
That anniversary
from now
sneaks
on.
up on me every
I know,
single year.
I know, but you want to be able to celebrate with your family and get them
Exactly.
gifts and all that. Shall we get to
Let's
our
get to
special
Sam.
guest?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back with Sam Cedar. Sam, thank you for being here on VCR Party.
Thanks for coming on the show. We've been trying to get you on for like a year now.
Nobody told me. Nobody told me.
Well,
I
and
had no idea.
it stemmed from the fact that we got sued, you know, a year and a half ago for being on the local news, and then you had, I think you couldn't do it, but I was on the Majority Report on the phone, and we're talking about the lawsuit, but then you brought up, oh, well, surely you've seen Danny Aiello's music video.
That's right.
And I hadn't. I couldn't believe it. So you played it, and I
I
was
feel like maybe like 15 people have seen this video. I don't think a lot of people have seen this.
I don't think as many people as should have
Yeah.
seen the video. I mean, that's why
We're
I'm
going to change that.
That's why I'm so happy to be here today. I
We're
feel
going to
like
build up to that. We're going to end with the Danny video, but we're going to build up.
it's worth it. You could
Yeah.
do a 12-hour show, and it's worth sitting through the entire thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, I was just listening to the audio on the radio, and then I went and watched it afterwards, and even that, I could kind of, you know, the word picture was coming together in my mind, and that was enough. To,
And honestly, we started putting this show together like last week, and I've had that song in my head nonstop. It's catchier than Papa Don't Preach.
It's better. It's better than the original.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's also there's more of a message,
I agree, yeah.
which I think is great too.
The worried father perspective in rock songs, I think, is something you don't get a lot.
That's
so.
right. And one thing that always amazed me about that, and you know, things have changed because everybody can shoot. You can shoot video on your phone, but at the time to do that production cost money,
yeah.
a lot of money.
Oh, yeah.
And
there's
like,
a lot of extras in there, too.
Yeah,
Like,
no, you could shoot that today. I feel like for like $250.
Yeah.
But then that was like tens of thousands of dollars, either in sort of donated goods or actually paid. And that the thing about that era was that it was one of the few times where you could see this sort of intersection of total delusion and decent production values.
We call that the golden age of video.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is
Exactly.
the golden age of video. That's what everything here
That's
is
right.
all about.
That's
so,
right.
Before we get to that, I wanted to start off with, I found a political ad that magician Doug Henning from the 70s did.
Wow.
Now, I don't know, did you know he started up his own political party in the early 90s called the Natural Law Party?
No.
It was in Canada, in Toronto, and it was based on transcendental meditation and something he called yogic flying.
Right, well, of course.
So, and the platform was basically saying if we have 700 yogic flyers, which I think is kind of doing this seated position and then kind of boosting yourself up like a frog kind of hopping, if we have 700 people doing that, we could achieve world peace. So that was his platform. Here's a little political ad he did in Canada in 1993, I believe this is from. Former magician Doug
did he
Henning.
win? Do you know?
He took 6 out of 8 candidates.
Really?
This election, you've heard.
Let me
You
remind
don't want to miss a word.
During this election, you've heard a lot about yogic flying and the experience of bubbling bliss. That's because 7,000 yogic flyers could create a perfect government with the ability to satisfy everyone. All of our national problems are basically caused by stress. And the best antidote is transcendental meditation and 7,000 yogic flyers, which can eliminate stress in the whole country, create an integrated national consciousness, and prevent problems. For a perfect government, vote the Natural Law Party.
There he is, Doug
Wow.
Henning.
I could
First
see
off-
I could see everybody getting behind that.
Yeah, well, first off, you said 700.
Oh, what did he say?
He said 7,000.
7,000.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
When you
700.
said 700, I'm like, that sounds like bullshit.
Yeah, that's
but
not enough to do it.
7,000, now I can.
That's
I can-
more feasible. Yeah,
Like, because
yeah.
I just sort of felt like that seems like 10 times less than you would need
Right.
to make a perfect government.
You got the math right.
And it turns out to be 7,000.
I took TM classes. My wife and I took TM classes because like Howard Stern does it, Jerry Seinfeld, everybody
Right.
like does it.
Andy
they're like,
Kaufman was a big.
Andy
team.
Kaufman, like all these like cool people, like do it. And so we did it, and I do occasionally practice it whenever I can. I don't know, but like they did get to the part about yogic flying. Like they showed us a video of these people jumping around, and like it's not flying, it's hopping.
Yeah.
And like I don't know, I just had a problem with that stuff. What I like about it is that you close your eyes for 20 minutes a day. And
There's
you
no
relax.
doubt. I'm sure that's healthy. I'm just not sure. Like, I feel like the formula is 7,000 yogic flyers, black box, perfect society.
That's
Like,
it.
like,
Yep.
what, I, like
Yeah.
and it's sort of the black box seems to me to be the big
Yeah.
sort of question mark.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I like how you said, well, you've heard a lot about bubbling bliss this election season. Who was talking about that?
don't-
Is it a hot button issue?
Well, to be fair, you weren't probably following the elections
That's
in
true.
Canada, and so you really don't know.
I wasn't, yeah.
Oh, was
So
that Canadian?
Yeah, it was from Canada.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. I
outside
missed
of-
that part.
On Ontario, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I just thought we'd start with a little politics before diving into.
No, I appreciate that. That's very
make you
yeah.
feel at home.
Yeah, no, I totally, yeah, exactly.
So I was Googling you on IMDb, and I looked at your filmography, and Gary Busey, the Gary Busey show came
Oh,
up.
right.
Yeah, from 2003, I'm with Busey.
Yeah.
I watched an episode today, and holy shit, I had no idea about the show. And I watched half of it, and fell in love with it immediately.
It was the idea for the show was amazing. I directed, I think we did 13, and I think I directed all but the pilot. They brought me on after the pilot, and it was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. In my
I can
life.
only imagine. Let's watch the video
okay.
first. Well, this isn't I'm with Busey. This is another movie that he did. Maybe you directed this one too. I don't know. It's called Quigley. It's about Gary Busey becoming a dog.
Right.
Christian film.
Maybe you directed this one too.
That doesn't make me.
So here's Quigley featuring.
What year was this?
2000. I think this is 2003. I think.
Oh,
yeah,
boy,
this is 2000. This is
I
about the
became
same
a
time as I'm with
billionaire
Busey.
when I was 30 years old. That doesn't make me a pushover.
Archie Channing is a businessman with a ruthless reputation.
Hey! 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 I want everyone that owns a dog executed.
Yes, right now! But all of that is about to change.
What are we to do with him?
He has no redeeming value whatsoever. They won't let me in heaven. It's too late.
It's never too late to change, Archie. They want you to go back as a dog. They said I'll be the only one to be able to see you as you once were. Everyone else will see you as Quigley.
Call the guards! Call animal control!
Oh boy.
What do I do now that I'm Quigley?
Your brother, Woodward.
I should have helped him.
You can still do that.
Look, I asked him for help once, and he completely humiliated me.
Now, to get out of the doghouse,
What can I do?
This is something you have to do for yourself.
he's got one chance to make things right.
He saved my life. I think we should keep him.
And he's about to discover
Want to watch my daddy's game? Do you think he can play with us?
the biggest blessings in life
Oh, he's got my game! Where is he going? I don't know, but those are my only copies!
come in small packages.
What are you doing with my games? Your games? The dog brought them in. These games are the best we've ever seen. You folks
Basically
should have a
explaining the
seat
entire
then.
movie
Yeah.
right here.
Have a contract.
Say, wow.
Gary Busey, Curtis Armstrong, Christopher Atkins, and Oz Perkins.
His name is Quigley, and he's my very best friend.
That's quite a dog you've got there.
Quigley.
That's Gary Busey right there, then.
There
huh?
you go.
Yeah. So
Wow.
wait, you did or you didn't direct that?
I did not,
Okay, you
but
did.
I only
Okay.
know because of the audio mixing levels. I heard
Yeah,
about.
that's what it was.
And I stopped using those Foley tricks of the.
Oh, yeah.
I stopped that 2 years early.
Oh, okay.
So that
All
was
right,
a
so
little
that was
bit dated.
2001 when-
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
2001.
Why was it so difficult directing I'm with Busey, the
He's
show?
insane.
Ah.
And also, how can I say this in a way that protects me from any type of litigation? Sometimes when, like in the morning you wake up and you have eggs and you act one way. But if you have pancakes, maybe you act a different way that's really different from eggs.
Yeah.
Most people don't react to breakfast foods that way. But there are other things that you can ingest in some fashion that can alter your things. And I'm not saying...
Oh, I see.
And I'm saying there were people involved in the project who would like that.
I see. Okay.
Gotcha. I'm reading between the lines.
Okay.
And
powdered eggs, maybe?
powdered eggs
Okay.
sometimes, sometimes pilled eggs.
Okay,
I mean, it did not feel scripted. The episode I watched, it seemed like you had an outline, maybe.
That's exactly right.
And then.
Yeah. In fact, all right, I'll tell you this story. At one point, I was having like a rolling nervous breakdown during it because he was extremely difficult.
How far into the production is this? When you have
Day
your-
2.
Okay.
Through the end. And like on the first day, I show up, we're in Taos, New Mexico, I think it was. And
Is that where he lives, or were you?
no,
traveling
we
for the
shot
production?
there for whatever reason. We were doing it had to do with like a Native American and like the vortexes and so I'm in my trailer and someone from the production comes in and I had met Gary once, but this is the first day and he's like, Gary won't shoot here. And I'm like, what do you mean Gary won't shoot here? He's like, he says this is the wrong place. I'm like, what do you mean he thinks it's the wrong place? And so we went out and there was this huge like barren field surrounded by hills. And I'm walking towards him and he's going like, this is the wrong place. This doesn't feel right.
It's pretty good impression.
And I just went up to him and I said, what's up, Gary? He's like, well, we can't shoot here. And I was like, why? He goes, it's just the wrong place. And I'm like, oh, okay. They thought you'd want to shoot here because apparently those vortexes up there, Indian lore says it's the only place that will fertilize this area. And this is the only place you can like grow organic garlic for like 300 miles from here. And he's like, we're going to shoot here. and it was always
You know
like,
how to speak Busey at this point.
well, I just realized like he just needed something to hang on
Yeah.
to. Like
Right.
and it was a series of stuff like this where I just lied to
Yeah.
him. And like I was never clear if he knew I was lying or this and that, but he's also a very strange dude.
Oh, you
who-
just lied?
Oh yeah, no,
that wasn't an actual thing.
I don't even know what a vortex is. To be honest. Somebody said the
I was
word.
picturing like a rock formation. I was like, maybe that's what
It is like these like hills or something,
Okay.
and there was something I had read about vortex, and
Close enough.
It was close
Yeah.
enough, and
Wow,
and
nice
then
work.
things got even. That was day 2, and then it got like he was saying to everybody like, "We got to do less comedy on this show and more message."
I noticed that he would get annoyed with the comedian that he was partnered with. Like,
Yeah, and then
he would get annoyed with it.
Yeah, and he'd say that to everybody, and everybody's like, "What message? We're on Comedy Central, but B, like, what message are you talking about?"
Right.
And so it was starting to go south, and he had his attorney / other things pull emails for him. He didn't know how to use email. And so I started writing fake emails to him.
Oh man!
Saying
there should have been a documentary behind.
We
the
were doing that
Oh.
actually a little bit. We have some tapes that probably are dubious legality, and I just remember sitting in a room with Adam, who was the co-executive producer with Busey, and another writer, this guy Dave Damashek, who I think does like sports stuff now. And he goes, "Oh, before you guys go, I want to read you something." He starts reading the email that I had sent him, which was from a teacher in Pittsburgh who wrote, "Dear Gary, I just wanted to thank you because yours is the first show that both has a message that I really appreciate and is funny so that the kids love it. And also
That's
the directing is really great." And he literally goes, "That's a kudos to you, Sam." And that moment was one of the more surreal moments of my life, where I was just like, because these guys didn't know I had written it.
Right.
Oh, it worked. It worked totally. Yeah, he was.
Wow.
There was a lot of stuff like that.
Did he ever find out that
No.
what happened?
Oh, we did all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff that maybe some of it should be off air, but
Gary wrangling. I love that.
I mean, at least write a book or something.
Well,
I mean, I feel like you got.
I think you got to come back. We'll do a director's commentary. On
We
all
could
15.
do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That would
Yeah.
be the world's greatest director's
that would be
commentary.
fun.
All right, well, I want to get to Danny Aiello, but I want to warm up a little bit more with some clips from an editor on the old Dinah Shore show. So Dinah Shore, the singer from the 40s, 50s. I mean, I didn't know much about her.
Yep.
But there's time code on all these clips, and she would have on celebrities, including Burt Reynolds, who she was dating for a while, and ask them to sing, even if they weren't singers. And some people who wanted to be singers would try to launch their careers on this show, Dinah,
I didn't realize.
in the 70s.
I remember the show, but I
So
don't.
these are all 70s stars who are not singers, but were singing. So here's Telly Savalas starting off. Oh, there's Doug Henning.
Telly Savalas and his new album.
He has an album out.
Yeah, that was big in the 70s. Every TV show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Telly Savalas. Or
Oh yeah, he
Well,
was on
him
Kojak.
yeah.
But
That album you talking
Shatner,
about?
Jim
Nimoy,
Neighbors.
Neighbors.
Right.
Here's his, I guess you could call it singing.
Also, you got to appreciate smoking
I
while
was
you're
gonna say,
singing.
actually, I think we should allow smoking in our studio.
Yeah. I disagree, but
If a picture paints 1,000 words,
shrubs.
Spoken
then
word.
why
They don't
can't
do
I
spoken
paint
word.
you? If a man
There's Dinah watching.
could
Nice
be
crane
two
shot.
places
Yeah.
at
It's a
one
weird,
Cross dissolve.
Yeah.
it's a weird crane shot with the back of her head in the foreground.
Dinah's flip.
Hey, misbehaving,
That Burt Reynolds?
Yeah.
I'm saving my love.
She was, when they were dating, she was 20 years older.
Wow.
Like Jack
It does
Horner,
look like it,
He
right?
was notorious
In
for
the
having a
corner.
toupee, I
Was
think.
he?
Yes.
don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Leave.
Did this ever air? Was
Yeah,
this ever air?
yeah, these all are.
Oh,
Lumbo guy.
Yeah, Captain Stubing, Gavin McLeod, and there's
And
Robert Blake.
yep.
They're just fucking around. I mean, that's basically
It's
what
like
you can do.
karaoke.
Yeah. On 70s TV, you could just be famous and
Oh yeah, Gong Show. They just fucking.
screw around.
And the song is This Is All I Ask, Eve Villachet.
From The Love Boat.
Isaac Hayes?
I think
No,
so.
from Fantasy Island.
Well, no, in the middle there.
Oh.
As I approach the prime of my life,
I find I have the time of my life.
A gorgeous singing voice.
Learning to enjoy at my leisure.
Did he have an album?
All
No.
the simple pleasures. And so I happily concede. This is all I ask.
At least he's singing.
Yeah, right.
He's
He's
spoken
not
word.
doing the Telly Savalas. Celebrity singing on Dinah Shore.
I gotta feel, this is like a walk down memory lane for me. All
Yeah.
these people were hugely prominent in my childhood TV watching.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, because you had no choice.
Yeah, exactly.
It was
3
pre
channels.
VHS, and so you basically
Whatever
you were
was on
force
TV.
fed, and
Yeah.
you would definitely watch.
And we
it.
had to watch TV. I mean, what else?
There's no other. Yeah.
I watched a
Read a
lot of
book.
Beretta, and I watched a lot of Kojak too.
Yeah.
My dad was a big Kojak fan. I
Oh, yeah?
remember. Yeah, he was very aggressive about making sure that we weren't messing with him during Kojak. Now that I get a weird feeling when I watch that.
Did he smoke in the house when he was
My
watching
dad?
it? Yeah.
My dad smoked, yes,
Oh, yeah.
constantly in the house.
Yeah.
And in cars with the windows up.
My
That
dad
is
told me
fascinating.
My dad told me that he watched Star Wars with me when I was a baby. I was like 2 years old, and he had me in one arm and then a cigarette in the other arm, and just like watching Star Wars in the theater, blowing smoke in my face.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're getting closer. We're getting closer
Okay.
to Aiello. All right, so to set the scene for the Danny Aiello video, Papa just wants the best for you. I thought we should watch the Madonna version of it first,
Right,
so
of
that
course.
you know what's going on.
It's the premise. It's
Yes.
the predicate.
But you
Right.
know that YouTube's going to flag us if we play that video, or they're going
The
to send it like a
Madonna video?
copyright,
Yeah.
you know, whatever. So we have the karaoke version
Okay.
of Papa Don't Preach. So look who plays Aiello in this one. It's
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will have set up that Danny Aiello played Madonna's father in the Papa
Oh, yeah,
Don't
have we
Preach
not-
video.
we haven't
No.
said that yet.
But yeah,
Okay.
in the famous video, she's not wanting to. He wants her to get rid of the baby or something,
Yeah.
and then she wants to keep it. So she's saying, "Don't preach to me." And Danny Aiello.
he's the dad.
He's the
of
bad
Madonna.
guy.
He's
yeah.
Madonna's dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so look at Madonna and Madonna's dad in this one. Love karaoke. That's Aiello right
And that's
there.
the guy playing the Aiello
Yeah.
character, and that's the
That's Madonna.
Madonna character.
Yeah. So they kind of emulate the video a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
Right.
they did it black and white.
Yeah.
Somebody's apartment.
I guess she's blonde. Mm-hmm. So I think they had that shot in there too.
He also looks about, I don't know, 5 or 6 years older than her.
It's not her father.
How is that her dad?
It could be dating. I mean,
I know.
She's like 23 and he's like 28, or maybe she's like 26 and
Yeah.
he's 31. That's what
Yeah.
it feels like.
And the first 2 minutes is her following him around the house.
While he's
Daddy,
burning.
please be strong. I may be young,
Yeah.
in quotes,
Right,
but at
yeah.
heart I know what I want.
Maybe youngish.
Oh, he just threw down his paper towel.
Okay, so that's the boyfriend.
That's the boyfriend. And then look at the mom.
Yeah, the mom's
The mom looks like, this is interesting too, because this is something from the Aiello video I noticed. The mom seems to be significantly older
She's
than
older.
the dad.
way older. Yeah.
Maybe that's part of like the whole thing, is that Madonna's dad is so young that there's like some weird sort of not quite Oedipal, but some
Oh, there's
strange.
like an underlying like.
Yeah.
He started in love
Okay.
with her. And,
Yeah, right. Like that's. Oh wait, that's the boyfriend.
That's the boyfriend. Yeah, it
the
gets
boyfriend
confusing.
looks about 6 months younger than the dad.
I mean, they could have given him like an old man hat or something.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
given him like gray hair or something.
How could you go out with a brunette? Is that what the issue is, or?
Yeah, I think that's what he's mad about.
So I think this sets the scene.
Yeah.
You get
Oh,
the
yeah.
idea?
Yeah, the
All right.
dad's upset about
Yeah.
the
Dad's
relationship.
upset. Dad's worried.
Right.
Oh,
So-
wait, there's some more.
Some good advice,
There's some
please.
more worried dads here. So. Because she wants to get an abortion, right?
I think that was the premise.
And then he doesn't want her to get it.
He doesn't want her. Yeah.
Wait, no, but she says, "I'm keeping my baby."
Yeah. Oh, I'm
And so-
keeping my baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
he
other
wants
way
to,
around,
He
yeah.
wants her to give it up for.
She's too young
adoption.
to
I would
have-
imagine
They're
it's
all
adoption.
Catholic.
She's
Is that
Right.
right?
I don't think
Italian.
Danny Aiello would have ever been involved in anything
No. And her name's
that,
Madonna, so.
allowed for a woman to have sovereignty over her own body. There's no way that.
Nick, I think that was a flashback that you stopped.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I'm getting anxious to watch
Okay,
the
all
Danny
right,
Aiello video.
okay.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain the backstory of this?
Well, I don't know the backstory.
Okay.
But I think all I know is either I got it from this person or I had seen it. I had been doing some work for Conoco, so I had a relationship with Jeff Ross, who's Conan O'Brien's producer. And I think it came out of the Conan offices, I'm not sure. But he said that Danny Aiello stopped him on the street, like maybe out in front of 30 Rock or something at the time. And
Was
said, "Come
he
in here."
stalking him?
No,
Like,
I
waiting
think he
for him?
might have been parked out there just trying to get anybody coming out of that office building to watch.
no.
I don't know.
Okay.
But that's my speculation.
Okay.
It could have been just happenstance, like, oh, I'm just riding around my limo and I happen to
Yeah.
have the VCR set up in my car, and I happen to have a VHS of something I did. I want you to check it out. Now, Aiello's son was a director because he directed Della Ventura, which I also had a slight obsession with. But
Della Ventura? I don't
yeah,
know that.
well, I'll tell you about that.
Okay,
in a minute.
okay.
But apparently, he made Jeff Ross watch that video. It's possible that Jeff Ross said, "Oh, can I have a copy of that?" It just went out to about like 10 or 15 people associated with the
I
show.
feel like not a lot of people have seen this.
No, I don't think it got around in the way that it should have.
And that would have happened, like, what, are we talking late 90s or?
Yeah, I would
Okay.
imagine that's late 90s. I
Okay.
mean, and it was like a VHS that's probably the quality of it is probably no better than that.
Well,
I mean,
and I had to take this off the internet because I couldn't find the original tape, and there's some glitches in the version on the internet, so I had to truncate
But you
some
have
things.
a better copy, though, somewhere,
somewhere,
right?
yeah,
Somewhere.
I
All
definitely
right.
do.
Okay, so and
It's in a glass case, I think so.
And
It should be.
The premise was that he thought he kind of wanted to give the perspective of the father, his answer.
Well, the father got shortchanged, and apparently at the end of Papa Don't Preach, she takes off, and you know.
We should have watched that all the way to the end.
Well, a lot of times kids don't appreciate what their parents are going through, and
Right.
he wanted to express that, and
But
he
when,
also
when he
probably-
made this, it must have been 10 years later, right? Like I feel like Papa Don't Preach was like 89 or something.
Yeah.
Like late 80s.
It could have been like.
And then
it
if
could
this
have
is
been
late
yeah,
90s.
it could have been
It must
7
have been
years.
sitting with him for a while.
Yeah, I think it was sitting with him for a while,
Yeah.
and then I think his son got into directing. Like I say, because Danny Aiello Jr., I believe, directed most of the Della Ventura episodes. So he may have been like, "Dad, you've had this idea kicking around for a long time. Like, I can get a crew together for only
Yeah.
X amount." Or maybe it was like his son's demo reel.
That's true. Just a project for him to
Oh,
work on.
Sure.
All right. Well, if
I like
anybody
all the
knows more
theories.
about this, let us know. But that's kind of the
We
fun
gotta
of
do
this.
some
We don't know the
research.
theory, but here's the start of.
We got to find some answers here.
I have some detail on it.
Okay.
I have some stuff.
Look at all those extras.
No, they play football at.
At the one shop.
Yeah.
Professional football players. Yep, worried dad.
Yeah.
The sandwich looks terrible.
As the dishes, you think he's a widower at this point? It sort of feels like. He's looking for her.
Looking for her.
Have you guys seen?
I'm looking for Madonna.
Surely this cop will know.
Material girl.
Wait, could that be her?
It's gotta be.
Slow motion.
And
Oh
then-
man, the cars are 80s.
Look at him run, and then he's like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa,
Wow. They had to do casting for that.
whoa!" This is one of my favorite ones, where it's like, "What are you guys doing?
I know.
Where is everybody?"
He's a professional sidewalk destroyer.
And like, why are you getting so mad at looking at a couple walking by? That doesn't track.
No.
Unless we go back to that theory about the dad and the.
That could be it. Edible or. He's looking for her in a nightclub. A guy threatens him.
Yeah, randomly.
I don't understand why.
You're old. What are you doing here? I'm going right to the gym then, and not changing my clothes.
There aren't good punches either. Oh man. It's a Pink Panther. Yeah.
Was that the edit?
No, there was a bad part of the video there. There's his wife.
Oh, she passed away.
She
Yeah.
looks exactly like the moon.
Because Like, was that his wife
His
or
grandma.
His grandmother.
Yeah. He's giving it his all. I love him. He's so earnest.
We don't know. We assume that it's Madonna,
Or maybe the wife came back from the grave?
Yeah,
but I prefer that theory. Yeah.
It's really unclear. Now that is definitely a shorter version.
Yeah.
than,
Do you have the full version? Can we watch the
Well, I mean,
full version?
I think you get the idea,
No,
right?
I mean, I want
Yeah,
more now.
I mean, there's a lot.
you
Well,
gotta taste.
him out in the in the night with
world.
the moon there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that. There's like probably 4 more choruses where he's just it's the camera spinning around him.
What I want more of is the Pink Panther.
Dad,
in
I'm going to
bed.
get the tracking thing, and then we're going to pull that around. It's going to look beautiful.
We're gonna do it about 15 times.
Yeah, the Pink Panther. There's a glitch in the tape at that point, so I had to truncate that shot. But yeah, there is a giant Pink Panther stuffed animal. It's her to show that it's her bed.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of like ruminating on
keeping the room
his loss.
Yeah.
Right.
And
The
he
thing
just wants the best for it. But I seem to remember a scene where he was with the mom at the table.
Oh, at the table?
At the table, and they were sort of like redoing that scene from the earlier one. And I just remember thinking, like, my God, she looks like she's 20 years older than him.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, I mean,
That's
not,
fine.
That's fine.
Say Dinah Shore, Burt Reynolds.
But I mean, this was a lot of. This was an ambitious shoot. They got a lot of people involved. They shot on a bunch of different locations.
Right, like now you could shoot this on your iPhone,
but also,
although this is a big scene.
Yeah. But look at this. The casting for this, they found a Madonna lookalike, but they couldn't have found a more age-appropriate wife for him.
Well, I think that was a cast. I think that was a directorial decision.
Deliberate
I mean,
Oh, you think it was to make her older?
Absolutely.
I think is the wife in the. Oh, she's not in this version.
Yeah,
no,
she's not.
Yeah, you just see her at the end, and she looks
Right.
Yeah,
like
elderly.
she's
but-
just floating.
Well, I think it's good to show this version. It gives people a taste for wanting more. And,
And we'll find the full version. And
and I hate to put you to work, Sam, like to dig through your storage locker, but you got to find it.
No, I
this
will.
version is so like degraded and digitalized.
Well, mine is just as degraded.
Oh, yeah?
I have to say, because I think what happened is like he had the video, and then like people just kept daisy chain. I mean, that was the way that we did it back then. There was no
tape trading.
There was tape trading, and it was like a, tremendous amount of loss in each generation. But even still, you get a sense of like, wow, how did something like this ever get made? Like, how did someone that deluded actually have the resources to do that?
Bless his heart. I mean, he was very earnest about it. And the thing I found out was that the reason he took the Madonna video, he didn't know who Madonna was, but his 9-year-old daughter loved her. So when he agreed to do it, he brought her to the set and introduced her to Madonna, and she wasn't nice to him. So he was like, well, she had her chance to tell her story.
She probably didn't know who he was, right? I mean, like,
he was
do the right thing.
Oh yeah, he was. I mean, he was a fairly accomplished actor at that time. I mean, I think so the Della Ventura thing. Just briefly, he had a series on CBS, like 10. I think they went 10 or 12.
What year?
It was must have been 2000. It was probably late 90s. It was a dark time for me, and I would have Della Ventura night, and I would make a puttanesca pasta and have friends over, and I think it involved me being constantly drunk, maybe, and or high. Like, I mean, throughout the day into the night, and I would just wait from Tuesday to Tuesday till Della Ventura came out, and then
what is the show? What is it? Like,
he was like an equalizer, like a PI, and it ended with him, like a shot of him like looking over his sunglasses like this, and
I think they all ended that way too.
That was like, no, that was the opening package.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
and then it was on the brink of getting canceled, and so he called in every favor he had. He showed up on Charlie Rose, which I was obsessed with at one point, and every time he went to someone who had some acclaim, they'd always start off the interview with like, "Now I haven't seen the show, but I hear it's great," because nobody wanted to vouch for it. And so he did that, and he showed up on Letterman and did the same thing.
Yeah, I was working at Letterman when he was on promoting Della Ventura.
Okay.
I remember it. I read
And
the
do you
research
remember
him.
this? He, on one of those appearances, claimed that he should have been the Godfather.
I don't remember
That Brando, like seriously,
wow.
Brando was good, but we all know he should have been Italian.
I love him.
And
I love him.
everybody was just sort of like, is this a joke line? Because that's like the most famous actor's most famous role.
Yeah.
And he just thought, like, I'd give him like a 6.
I would have loved to have seen what he could have done on the Dinah Shore show. I mean, that would have been the perfect platform for.
He would have been a repeat guest.
Yeah.
I'm kicking myself because maybe 4 years ago, my wife worked at the Tonight Show, and she was a member of the Friars Club. Jimmy Fallon got everybody memberships to the Friars Club, and we went one night, and they were like, "It's full. We can seat you at a table with Danny Aiello if that's okay." And we're like, "Fuck yeah!" So I sat right next to him.
Oh, that's great.
And I mean, we didn't have a lot to talk about. He,
Yeah.
we talked. He asked me where I was from, and I told him Wisconsin. We talked about the Green Bay Packers. We talked about
Not Papa just wants the best for you.
no,
Had
but
we known.
had I,
Yeah.
Right.
God, I want to go in a time machine.
Go
now.
back to the Friars Club.
go.
Yeah, maybe I'll just
Try
go
it
back
a
to
lot.
Friars
Hey, you
Club.
wait outside it. You probably run into him, I would imagine.
Pull an Aiello.
Yeah,
wait
exactly.
outside.
Exactly.
Have your limo.
Danny, I want to show you something. And it could be you responding to his
Yes,
video.
in the van with the
Right.
VCR in the van somehow playing.
Right.
That's what
I'm,
we need to do. Make our own response to this.
I'm
video.
not sure what it would be from the perspective of
Somebody
the,
who watched
Yeah.
the video, maybe.
the viewer just wants the best for you.
Yeah.
Trying to, I don't know. There's,
Well, George is our resident VHS detective, and so we're gonna put him on this. We're gonna find some answers,
Maybe
and
he can get some
we'll
more
report
answers.
back as soon as we hear
Okay.
more stuff. And I hope that maybe you can put out some feelers too.
I'm
and
going to put out
we'll stay
a
in
lot of
touch.
feelers. I've
Yeah.
got so many
You got your
extra
day
feelers.
planned.
I'm going to put them out. And
And come back if you find the full video. We'll watch that. Anything else you find.
sounds like
in
you
your
have other
storage
VHS
locker,
too, so-
I do. I have like a lot of Tim Vu stuff, I think, or Tim
Oh,
Vu.
Tom Vu. I
Tom
don't
Vu.
know.
Tom
yeah,
Vu.
we have some Tom Vu
Tom
too.
Vu,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
some other
He's
random.
that infomercial finance guy.
Yeah,
right?
he's like, you walk around, you don't
Yeah.
do stuff. You could have a lot of beautiful women.
He always has
and-
like babes behind
Yeah.
him. and-
Limos.
Yeah. yeah.
I think John Benjamin and I signed up for that course.
Oh, did you?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in the day.
Oh, well, please come back. In the meantime, people can watch and listen to the Majority Report every weekday.
Every weekday at noon, or as a podcast later on YouTube and whatever.
And also you're a Gary Busey wrangler, and that's one of your part-time things.
That's long. That was long ago. That was,
Seriously, if you have footage, like behind the scenes documentary footage, you should start putting that together. We know editors. Give us the footage. We'll.
It's conceivable that there's like accidental audio tapes
That's great.
Oh yeah.
that exist, but
Okay.
I'm not sure about that.
Wow.
Okay.
I need to check with my lawyer.
Okay. Yeah. Check
but,
with your lawyer. Check with your storage.
Yeah, there was some.
Yeah.
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 Well, thanks for coming on. This was a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun too. This
All
was
right,
great.
thanks.
Thanks.
And there you have it.
Sam Cedar is really great. I love his Gary Busey impression.
Mm-hmm.
He actually could channel Busey
How's your
pretty
Busey
well.
impression?
I don't know. I mean, I'd be doing an impression of Sam's impression,
Yeah,
which is like,
yeah.
oh, the polar vortexes are there? Yeah, let's shoot that. Let's shoot there. Yeah, loved having Sam in. Thanks for coming. Let's do a nice thing, shall
Yeah,
we?
let's do some nice things.
A quick nice things, and
Yep.
then we'll say goodnight.
All right. All right.
I decided to do, I was reminded of this because a lot of times we've shown, like when you showed the Garfield belt that we went to a prison gift shop where prisoners made belts and you didn't buy it, you regretted it.
Yeah.
And then you went through this whole ordeal to try to get it.
Yeah.
Because it was closed, you ended up.
I
Anyway,
just wanted it more.
you wanted it more.
Yeah.
I've had many of those moments where I've taken a picture of something at a thrift store or I found in a antique shop or
Yeah.
something and I didn't buy it and now I just kick myself. So I'm calling this Ones That Got Away. And this
Oh.
I think this will be a recurring
Is this a
segment.
new corner here or something?
No,
or?
it's nice things, but
Okay.
these in particular are
nice
ones
things. The ones that
the
got
ones
away.
that got away. It's
Okay.
colon.
I like it.
First of all, I was in North Dakota, found this poodle liquor bottle
Okay.
cozy. So it kind of hides the fact that you're an alcoholic with kind of a poodle.
That's a nice thing for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, I don't have an alcohol problem, I have a poodle problem. It's
Yeah.
kind of trading one problem for another. Didn't buy that, could have traveled home with that. This is a doll for the movie Baby Geniuses. Never realized they made a doll. This is Wisecracking Sly. Did not buy that. Talking electronic Baby
remember that
Geniuses
movie.
doll. Found this one at an estate sale on Long Island. It's a poster, $15, frame poster, Coors Rocktoberfest. I mean,
Where would you put it? Like above your bed?
my den.
Yeah.
Yeah, above the bed would be great, on my ceiling. Really regret not buying that. There's, I mean, come on.
They know how to party.
Yeah. This is I found pretty recently at a board game shop in Middleton or Madison.
That you should have bought.
Yeah, the only problem is it's $300.
Oh.
So
never mind.
It got away. It's still there, but I just can't.
It's gonna be there
justify
forever.
it. Yeah, it's a cheap plastic, but official Advanced Dungeons and Dragons wallet.
It's gonna be there until a really rich Nick Pruer comes along.
I know, if the
and sees
richer
it.
version of me. Because I would really like to be at a business lunch sometime and be like, you know what, Dan, I got this, and then make a big show out of pulling that out.
You pull it like you're the black, like the Visa Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just I got this.
Yep.
So that got away, and then this I found in Florida at an antique store. This is a framed book cover for a book called Thinking Outside Sirius, which is CEOs, executives, and managers share their thoughts on how clowning changed their lives. I didn't buy this.
But wait a second. It's blown up bigger than okay. It's not the actual book
this
size.
This is a framed copy of the book cover, I assume for the author or something.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy it because I'm like, how am I going to check this home on a plane? You know,
Yeah.
I could have shipped it, but I didn't. And then I called, like you, the next week I called, and they're like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Maybe that doesn't actually exist. That's just like in your
My
imagination. Yeah.
Here's one that hasn't gotten away yet, but it's basically is getting away. I was looking for a birthday present for you, and I know you're a man who likes Newport cigarette merchandise.
No, God, do I ever.
So I found some socks, some Newport socks that I gave you that came with a carton.
Very nice thing.
But look at this. This is a working, unused Newport menthol cigarette coffee maker.
Think of all the Newport points that must have taken.
Yeah, menthol right there. It still works.
Oh.
And I'll show you the reason. This is still on eBay, by the way. Bob Hedges, if you're listening.
She always has Bob to buy us
I know.
things.
But this is why. $170. So I cannot justify buy now, and you
What's
can't.
great used working conditional used a few times.
Yeah, also was used. But we need a coffee maker here in the office. I mean, why not a Newport cigarette menthol one?
Wow, that is a nice thing.
Yeah, so those are the ones that got away from me.
That's the nicest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yep. Makes the coffee taste menthol fresh.
Yeah. Well, I got a nice thing of my own. I last weekend I came out of my house, strolling down the street, minding my own business, and suddenly, do you have the remote?
You weren't in other people's business then?
No, I was minding my own business.
Huh.
I was whistling a tune.
Yeah.
And 2 boxes of look it, and it's
Chewy box.
it's not just like a bunch of liars. It's not a bunch of Titanics. Yeah, it's not a bunch of Titanics. There wasn't anything that great in there, truth be told. But I went in there and I was actually kind of shaking when I saw
Oh my
it. 'Cause
God,
it was
right outside
they're
your
all
place?
hand labeled. Everything was taped off a TV. Yeah, it was right outside my place. And I grabbed 4 videos out of there. And I'm going to show them to you
good.
right now.
Wondering which ones you decided to keep out of that.
So 3 of them were MTV videos. They were taped off in 1986 MTV.
Cool.
Take a looky there. Yep. And they zapped out all the commercials. The person was very methodical with when they started it.
I was that way too.
This would be fantastic background videos. We just keep this going in the background.
You know, we're having an open house in October.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe we have those playing.
I'm thinking we have this playing in the background while we're, it's just
Yeah,
so there's no.
great
I
idea.
kind of wish they would have kept the commercials in though.
That would have been the icing on the cake. Looking back, hindsight being 2020,
50-50.
I would have kept all
Yeah.
the commercials in.
This is the one movie that I took. Copy of Air Bud.
Oh,
the
sure.
original Air Bud.
Yeah, we don't have that one.
No. I mean, I've never seen it before. Have you seen it?
No.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe someday.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Not Air Buddies.
But I want to show you. So I popped in this one MTV tape. It says MTV Music Video.
Okay.
And
Number 1.
right when I popped it in, it was at the end of this TV show that I'd never seen before. And
Okay.
I still don't know what it is. And I did Google searches for the characters' names, and I couldn't find anything.
Really?
Maybe one of you guys will know
Yeah,
what
maybe
this
the
is, or maybe
Melindas can help
the
us out.
Melindas. But take a look. I have no clue what this is. There's a I Dream of Jeannie episode. We know what that is.
Yeah, love Barbara Eden.
Well, all of a sudden it switches to this, the very end of a sitcom.
It's the transitional.
Here we go.
Listen. Dwayne Preston did what some people only dream of. He faced his fears, took the challenge, and overcame the obstacles. That's what courage is all about. And that's what Dwayne Preston is all
I
about.
think I know what this might be.
Watch this.
Give me 5, listen.
Now that's what I like to see.
Yeah, I think I know what this is.
What?
I think it's said goodbye in 1920 and left at wackadoo, wackadoo. It's yes, this is it. This is 1920s flapper comes to live with modern 80s family. What's it called? Like Jillian?
You're making that up.
No. My sister and I would watch this religiously. Said goodbye in 1920 and that she dies and comes back to life. Yeah. Yep.
Steve, you got your computer handy?
That's.
Are you able to?
Oh, what is it? Yeah, because that's the theme song. Yep.
I did not expect you to know this.
Yeah.
You and your sister would watch it?
Yeah. And it was like one of these syndicated shows. So it'd be on after school from like that 4 to 6 kind of time.
Promotional consideration provided
Kenner.
by. Yeah.
Congolium. Whirlpool.
And there's a little promo at the end here too that I think you might like. So she would like. She was kind of like
she
Jeannie,
brought her
right?
sensibilities.
Oh,
She wasn't magic, but.
You say anything there?
Procter & Gamble.
Okay, so here.
The Flapper sitcom.
This is on Superstation.
Oh,
TBS.
TBS.
But they called it WTBS back then.
Right.
Coming up next, it's that lovable fella who marches to the sound of a different drummer,
And there's
Gomer
only-
Pyle. Next on
There's only like
Superstation
3 other channels to watch,
WTBS.
so you had to watch Gomer Pyle.
Yeah. There it is.
I think we have it.
Yeah.
What is it?
Down to Earth.
Down to Earth, right, yes.
She's a flapper that
Yeah,
dies?
she gets hit by a trolley in the 20s. And it's like, got hit by a trolley, golly, said goodbye in 1920, and then she gets...
The Superstation's first original series.
Oh, okay.
I'm always amazed like what your brain like grabs
Yeah.
onto. And you remember the lyrics to the...
Yeah, I don't know
You
why.
probably haven't thought about that in a
No,
long time.
not since I saw the girl in the flapper outfit, but that had to be it. That had to be it.
It said it was Procter & Gamble. It's everything. It's definitely it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. So I think that's it. I just want...
Oh, I wanted to say something. So
Yeah.
I wanted to put George isn't here, but I wanted to put George on a task.
Oh, okay.
And
He's
George,
watching.
he's probably watching right now from his creep cave. So we're doing a Chris Gethard, who was a guest on our show, and he'd done a bunch of cool stuff.
Broad
comedian.
City and-
yeah. He invited us onto this program that he's doing for Manhattan News Network, the public access
Manhattan
in
Neighborhood Network, yeah.
That too. And so he asked us to do some sort of a show. We're going to do the best of public access on a public access show. So all the public access that we've collected from all around the world at this point, right?
Will be broadcast on Manhattan Public Access.
We'll be. It's kind of a clip show of like all of our public access from all around the world. So anyway, that's going to be on September 4th. It's just going to be on MNN. But then I think he said that they're going to upload it to their... No, it's going to broadcast live from his
streams.
website.
Yeah.
From his website. It's like chrisgethard.com or something like
It's
that.
on our website.
Yeah, anyway. So we're going to be playing this video from a guy named Jim W. Hawkins from San Diego. He does a show called Cheering Makes School Fun. He's done over 500 episodes of this. And I've tried to find this guy, and I can't find him at all, and this seems like a job for George.
Okay.
So here's just a quick refresher. We've shown him before. We've shown Jim W. before.
We love
but,
Jim W. Hawkins.
It's just some of my favorite. I think Jim W. Hawkins might be my favorite in our
What is
entire
the
show.
one thing that's the hardest to do when you're out there cheering for them or cheering for runners?
What's the question?
How did your sales go today?
All
at your
the
booth?
framing.
I'm sorry?
And I wonder what's with the
Nobody can
button?
hear 'em.
Cheery clothes today.
I can't hear you.
And tell me, what do you do here at the cave? We have one of the parents of America's Finest Cheerleaders for this year with us. You are?
Hi. I'm sorry.
And I wonder what
He ambushes
it'd like to be in the JOROTC at San Diego. What life is?
What life is?
What life is.
Yeah. What is life? Yeah, Jim W. Hawkins. So you want to track that guy down, who was looked like to be about 75 in 1980, 86 or 87.
Yeah, I think he's probably gone the way of Doral Silverthorne.
Yeah,
but I don't know. You
unfortunately.
never know.
All right,
I mean-
so maybe he'll come back with a eulogy next week.
Well,
By the way-
I'm hoping we can have it in time for the Chris Gethard show, so we can have like some sort of
okay.
a meeting or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be back from overseas next week, and we'll have a live show for you. It's been a while since we've been live with you, so
Yeah. We're going to be exhausted too.
We will, because we'll just be
We're going to
getting,
be irritable. We're going to be jet lagged, and then we have to do shows right after that in North Carolina.
Yeah, we're back for about less than 24 hours. Then we fly to North Carolina and do 4 shows. Yeah.
Yeah.
And a college showcase that weekend too.
Oh, it's going to hurt.
All right.
All right.
So I want to end with this. I mean, is it any wonder what I'm going to end with? This is.
Oh yeah. Did you do the entire version of it?
No, I just did the ending, but it's the long version of the ending where you get to see
Okay.
him pine for his elderly wife. So this is a song that won't leave anyone's head anytime soon. It's Danny Aiello's "Immortal." Papa wants the best for you.
That's all. That's it.
We'll be right back right after that.
Papa made the same mistake. He never wanted you to make. Though I made some tough demands, I'll be proud to hold your baby in my hands. Papa just wants the best for you. He wants to be proud of the things you do. Papa wants the best. He only wants the best for you. Papa's just
When we return, Dr. Selner will complete the bunion surgery.
Yes, those are his pajamas he's wearing,